Well, I guess it's about time to crack open a big-ass cold one because it's about to get spicy up in here. So here's the thing. I've been seeing a lot of videos online about which race is the best for D&D or which class combos will guarantee you extremely great results and all that kind of bullshit. Here's the thing. If you're not playing a human in D&D, then why even bother rolling stats? Today we're going to talk about why humans are objectively the best race to play in D&D and why that is. So let's start just from a purely mechanical point of view. What do humans get? Well, one of their main things is you get a +1 to every single one of your stats. That is unbelievable because you're just good at everything, I guess. But if your DM is foolish, like me, and allows you to use the variant human rules, which they should, then that means you're only getting a +1 to 2 different stats. That isn't a huge bonus, but it can round out a couple odd numbers into even ones, so it brings up all your stat bonuses. But what do you get for giving up those extra 3 skill points that you probably don't need anyways? You get a goddamn feat. Like, hello? You get a feat? That's ridiculous. You're telling me I can start the game out with Great Weapon Master on my Barbarian? Unbelievable. Or I can be a rogue at level 1 with the mobile feat so I move faster, and then when I go and stab someone, I can just walk away without getting an attack of opportunity? Incredible. Or I can be an Arcane Domain Cleric who takes Magic Initiate at level 1 and gets access to Shillelagh from the Druid spell list, and then I can turn a Walking Stick into a 1d8 Magic plus my Wisdom modifier weapon. And then, because I'm an Arcane Cleric, I can cast Wizard cantrips like Green Flame Blade or Booming Blade on top of my Shillelagh stick that uses Wisdom for attack and damage because I'm a... Holy shit, that's a ridiculous build. But you know who can't do that build? Literally everyone that's not a human, unless they want to wait until, I don't know, level 8. And not only that, humans are diverse within their own race. How many types of elves do you have? Like 3? One of them sucks like a lot anyways. Or how many dragonborn even are there? Like 6 colors or whatever? And what's even the difference between half of those colors? I don't know. You have like 2 different ones that give you fire as your breath weapon or whatever. What? Do you have any idea how many different types of humans there are? Like, literally, we're all unique and individual. That's kind of our whole thing. I mean, look at this person, look at this person. Completely different, same race. Humans are so overpowered that there are 2 other races and half of their entire identity is just being human. You got half orcs, which are basically just big, dumb humans. Sure, they're a little bit stronger, but yikes. And you got half elves, which are just, I don't really know, like humans with pointed ears that are just like a little bit better at diplomacy. But those 2 different races, which are both half a human, are considered to be pretty good in terms of mechanics. So basically what I'm saying is the best race in the game is only followed up by 2 other races that are 50% of that same first race. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Like, there are all kinds of famous humans even in the D&D canon setting. I mean, friggin' Mordenkainen got his own book, and he's a human. An entire new product published with his name on it, and that's how awesome he is. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, Volo got his own guide too, and he's a halfling, I want to say. But I mean, whatever. Anyone can just go around and draw pictures and write about stuff that you see out in the woods. Mordenkainen travels through goddamn time and space, and they made a book about it just to sell it to the local chapters Indigo or whatever, just because he can. Like, oh, that's cute, Volo, you wrote a book about giants? Yeah, I wrote a book about the eternal blood war between demons and devils. What are you gonna fucking do about that? And unlike some of the other races, elves, we don't need like 100 years to hit puberty or whatever. We grow up reasonably fast and become extremely efficient. And also, how many adventuring parties have you seen where there's an elf who's level 3 amidst like a human who's also level 3, and that elf is like 600 years old, but the human is literally like 19? That person has just as much experience in 19 years as you've had in 300. Could you imagine if humans lived to be that long? Well, I guess that's like why we have liches, but... And that's the other thing, orcs. They only live to be like 10 or whatever, not a very long time, and it's because they're so stupid and they end up killing themselves in ridiculous ways. How could they hope to even compete? And unlike those Dragonborn, we can actually give proper smooches. We're not just made of hard scales, like who wants that? I'd rather not talk like a stupid lizard, thank you. And speaking of talking, we just get to choose an extra language. Like, sure, if you're an elf, you learn Elvish, or if you're a dwarf, you learn Dwarvish. Humans, we know Common, like everyone does, and just whatever else we want, because we're just so great at understanding other people that we can just pick a language. You're 14, well, no matter where you're from, you're also fluent in at least one other language. What? The point here being that humans are not necessarily the best at one specific thing, but they are objectively the best at making really weird builds work that wouldn't necessarily work otherwise, because you can get that extra feat at first level, and that is huge. So if you're considering playing a human, look through the list of feats, and if your DM lets you use the variant human rules, which most DMs do, there's most likely some kind of wonky nonsense you can get to make happen, and that's what makes playing a human so much fun, is that they're unpredictable. Like I said, a rogue could take mobility at level 1 and put those extra 2 points in dexterity and constitution. So they'll be a little bit beefier than your average rogue, and of course they'll be extremely fast or dexterous. Or both, I guess, if you took mobile. Or conversely, you could have a paladin who put those extra 2 points in strength and charisma to boost their spellcasting and their sword arm. And then they use their extra feat to take charismatic leader, giving themselves and everyone else in the party a bunch of extra hit points every day. Early on in the game, that's gonna quadruple your survival factor. Both of those characters are humans, both of them are completely different in terms of how their stats line up and what abilities they have, and both of them are mechanically viable to a point where I would play either of those characters happily at the drop of a hat. But the biggest argument I can make for why you should play a human in D&D is because the game was created by humans, and without humans, literally none of this would exist. And you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm a human in real life. That seems kind of boring. Pretending to be something you're not is kind of the point of the game. So while you might be a human, are you a 6'6" human with an impossibly chiseled jawline and rippling abs and a huge upper body with massive amounts of strength that can swing around a sledgehammer like it's a twig you just picked up off the ground? Because I know I'm not, and playing a human barbarian that fits that ilk is going to be completely different from anything I've ever experienced. And if you do fit that description, then congratulations, I guess. Send me a DM. I have questions about what it's like to be an American Gladiators. But outside of that, you shouldn't need your race to inform your roleplay decisions. I mean, sure, it can be helpful, but if you put enough time and effort in, you can make any plain old human into a really interesting and fascinating character. Because like I said, that unpredictable nature is what makes humans so much fun. You never know what to expect when you encounter a new human NPC, and the same should be said for your character as well. So hopefully this answers your question about which race you should play. I'm definitely happy to clear up any questions you might have, so please leave a comment, get at me on Discord or Twitter. I see no situation in which anyone disagrees with me, but maybe you're a new player and you've got questions, so those are the places that you can reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then.